All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a during game edition of Tigers Live. I'm Francis Carlota, your host, joined by Kenny Stubblefield, coming at y'all during halftime of the Memphis versus Colorado State game. Memphis is up at half, 36-31. Halftime just started, so we got a little bit of time to talk about that first half, and then we'll get into the second half, and you'll see our live reactions, how everything's going. You're going to see some screaming. You'll see definitely. I'm going to try not to curse too much.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
But it'll be a very emotional second half, I'm sure. Kenny, how you doing, man? Thoughts on the first half, man?
Man, I mean, it's danger zone, baby. They are like Colorado State is officially in the danger zone. And I mean, he is just you said it while we were getting ready to go live. It's just men among boys out there, man. Just a man amongst boys.
He's literally moving guys just by blowing on him, just by barely. He doesn't look like he's trying on the glass. He's just using his big body and he's displacing grown men easily. He's dominating. First half box score for Dane. Let me pull it up. Dane's looking like 15 points. 3 blocks, 5 boards on 7 for 9 shooting for Dane. I mean, come on, man. Come on. He's been incredible. Legitimately on double watch. And then 3 blocks from Dane. He didn't sit in the first half from what I see.
Yeah,
he played essentially that whole first half, and he's been the best player on the floor. Don't you think, Kenny?
Oh my gosh, he's the best player. He's the best player I've seen in the tournament so far. In this first half, he's played the best first half of basketball that I've seen out of anybody in the tournament so far this year. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at 7 for 9, 5 rebounds, 15 points. Let me look at all the stats real quick. You just went through them, but he's got 4 turnovers. He'll get those under control, but 3 blocks. I mean, just an unbelievable effort by Dane. And it's what we called for, right? Like when you see Colorado State and you see that they don't start a guy over 6'7", 6'8". If they say 6'8", it means they're probably 6'6", to be honest with you.
No, for real.
And so they don't start a guy that's, that's much taller than me, right? And so it's just one of those things where we came into the game thinking that the Tigers were going to have a major front court advantage, but Dane has turned it up. Like Dane's aggressiveness is on another level right now.
Yeah, I think that's the key word you said is aggressiveness. He's played so hard during this game on both sides of the floor. You heard the announcers talk about it, and we've watched him all season, so we know it too. This is by far the best shape this man has ever been in. He is looking so fluid on both sides of the floor. He doesn't look like he's gasping for air. I mean, again, he played freaking the whole half, the entire 20. He played the whole thing up and down the floor, being a beast on the offensive side, on the defensive side too, with his 3 blocks and his shot, his rim protection. It's like a la Musa Cisse out here with Dane's rim protection right now. I mean, and you saw him. He walled up Neek. Neek went up for a layup. Neek missed. You saw Dane get the board and scream. Like, that is the energy, the intensity that we're looking for from the Tigers. Dane's brought it, no question. Talk to me about PJ, though, because I see this comment from Grizz Girl 179. We need second half Haggerty. We'll talk about Nick in a bit, but second half Haggerty, he's got to show up. What are you seeing from PJ? From my perspective, Kenny, he seems a little bit passive. He's been quick to give the ball up in certain moments. He kind of got a little more aggressive near the end of the first half, but what did you see?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think PJ's picking his spots right now, right? Like, I think he's picking his spots, and I think we saw this in the second half of the UAB game, the final in the championship, AAC championship game. He goes through moments where he just goes off, right? And so I think this game is far from over in terms of like what I think PJ's going to have a massive second half. I mean, his box line is 7 points, 1 turnover, which is huge for PJ Haggerty. Huge. Massive. 1 foul, 1 steal, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. I mean, so 7.6 rebounds. Listen, like, let's be frank about it. That's a good first half for a player. Obviously he's, All-American, second team All-American, consensus guy. You expect more. But I think it's clear he has to play kind of a point guard duty now with
Yeah,
Tyrese out.
yeah,
So
good point.
one of the things as a point guard you have to do is make sure you get the hot hand. And you heard Jalen Rose even on the broadcast say it,
Yeah,
get to the hot hand, get it to the hot hand. That's what point
yeah,
guards do. And that's what PJ's doing this first half is getting the ball to Dane. They are
yeah.
targeting, they are absolutely going after Dane. But let me see. Back to Dane real quick. King Meek says this. He goes, "No fouls is amazing." I said this in the Discord just a few minutes ago. It is 1000%. Dane has absolutely grown in his ability to not foul as much. Like earlier on in the season, he was having a rough time. I guess maybe it was an out of shape type of deal, but he was having a tough time getting back. He was reaching a lot. He was swiping a lot, trying to rip balls and stuff like that. He's just doing better with that. He's not doing that as much. I mean, you even saw it on that drive to the basket. He walled up, went vertical. Yeah. That's what bigs are supposed to do, man. Like I think, you kind of get ingrained in your mind that I got to block every shot. Man, really just be an impediment, right? At the basket. Just be strong, be tall, be big. And he's doing that. And he's already got 3 blocks because of it. So yeah, I love what he's doing out there. And with PJ, if there's one person on this team I'm not concerned about, it's PJ Haggerty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I ain't worried about PJ either. Funny.
Drew.
Shout out Drew. What's going on?
Ain't nobody trying to see the Rebels get run out by a team that shouldn't even be in the tournament, man. Come on, man.
Shout out to you again, though.
Shout out to
yes,
Uncle Buck, man. That man's
yes,
the guy.
Sir. Yes, sir.
But
I want to say quickly though about PJ because obviously scoring wise, he only has 7 points, 3 for 10 from the field. He took those threes on like back-to-back missed threes, but then he got his own. I think he got his own miss, and then he hit a jumper on the baseline, and that's what I mean from dudes. If shots not falling, you're still seeing PJ play really hard. That's evidenced by his 6 rebounds in the first half. Memphis is absolutely dominating Colorado State on the boards, Kenny. It's 22-12 on the glass. And it's shown. You can see it. Dane, obviously, he's got his 5 boards, but PJ Haggerty, as a guard, he's one of the best rebounding guards in the country. Yeah. He's got 6 boards already at halftime. Cisse has 4 boards, and I don't think Cisse's even played that many minutes. Hold on, Cisse's only played 5 minutes, and he has 5 rebounds. Or 4 rebounds, I'm sorry. So Cisse's barely even played, and he's already eating on the glass. Like Memphis has a clear size advantage, and they're taking advantage of it thus far. And they are. That's why Memphis is up 5.5 here against Colorado State. The big reason in my mind why this game is even remotely close is just Memphis not hitting their threes.
Yep.
And Jordan taking a lot of those threes that Colorado State's kind of just baiting him into taking. I know he can hit some every now and then, but I feel like with Jordan, I would like to see him move the ball a little bit more. You can get him involved in some dribble handoffs as well if you want to get him in the offense.
Yeah. I'm getting blasted in the Discord for defend. You know me, man. Like I love Nick Jourdain, so I always run to his defense. I'm getting blasted in the Discord right now because here's my theory on why he took those 2 shots. Obviously, one was an air ball, one was a brick. Missed shots with 11 minutes left in the first half don't mean a whole lot to me. What it's doing though is sending a message, right? Yeah. Like if Nick is not even willing to shoot those shots, then what's Colorado State going to do when he has the ball in his hands? They're going to sag off and they're going to stuff Dane down in the paint with 3 dudes around him. You've got to have a guy who's willing to at least shoot the ball. Now, do you want Nick being that guy? No, that's why Colby Rogers having such a good first half is a big deal, right? That's why PJ having a good second half is a big deal. That's why losing Tyrese Hunter is such a big deal because those guys keep teams honest. Nick has to keep Colorado State honest in this game, and the fact that he's showing a willingness to even shoot those shots, makes Colorado State think like I've got to at least get my hand up. I got to get my hand out there. I got to move towards him when he has the ball. Then that takes away a defender out of Dane's way, and so I don't get necessarily too concerned about him missing 2 shots in the first half because of what it does in the second half, right? Like what it does to the defense that they're facing off against, what it does to them, that they have to actually pressure them. Now let them make one and see what happens to Colorado State's defense, right? Like he's got to gain some respect from there from Colorado State. And so but I'm getting flamed because everybody's like, stop shooting the ball. Somebody said, I'm gonna fly to Seattle right now and tell them to stop.
I get it. I mean, I think you're absolutely right though, Kenny, that he still needs to be impactful on the floor. And I think he can be impactful in other ways than just by being a 3-point shooter. If Colorado State does go into zone more in the second half, which I kind of suspect that we will see Colorado State go into a zone more in the second half, because they kind of teased it to close the first half literally on that last possession. And then you saw Nick Jourdain, who's really good at doing those baseline cuts to find the open spot in the zone. And they hit him. They didn't score, unfortunately, but it was the right idea. And Jourdain's really good at finding open spots in a zone. Yeah. So I think he'll be more involved in the offense, especially if Colorado State does stick with what they teased to close the first half and do a 2-3 zone, a 1-3-1. And I've said this on the Discord, I've said this on Tigers Live. I think Memphis is actually pretty dang good against the zone, which is a wild flip from where we were last year, where they couldn't score against any zone created by any team. They just couldn't do it. But this year, we've seen it on a pretty consistent basis that Memphis knows how to generate good looks against an opposing team's zone. And so I think they could dice him up if that's what Colorado State chooses to do. Do you disagree?
I hope that's the case. I don't disagree with you, but that's where Tyrese Hunter's missed, right? Sure. Like that's where you miss a Tyrese Hunter. I love Baraka Okoje's chaos that he creates on defense. He is loose with the ball in his hands and on the offensive side. And so that and let's be frank about it, so was Tyrese to a degree this year. Tyrese wasn't the most confident with the ball at all times, dribbling the ball, but having a 3-point shooter, having a guy who can stretch defenses, who can bust zones with their shooting, I get concerned a little bit about about Tyrese not being out there. But no, I think Nick absolutely. Nick, it's that high-low post game between him and Dane, Musa and Dane, that I think becomes something that they can exploit if they do decide to go zone. Let me see. There was some. Yeah, Drew Gann said that Uncle Buck said, "Got to be honest, this is my first time watching the Tigers since they played the Rebs. Why is Danger not the most popular player in college basketball? Because they play the AAC."
Yeah, that's the best answer.
He is. I get more and more. Like, I really try hard not to be a prisoner of the moment, Francis. Sure. I really do.
I know.
I haven't seen a big with his bag in the post. And I mean, I'm 44 years old, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I need people in the chat, like, to tell me who's the last person you saw with a bag as deep as Dane Danger in the post. Like, I have a hard time remembering. College basketball posts don't have that. Like, they have over the shoulder hooks. They have offensive rebounds because they're just athletically bigger. Nowadays they're stretching out and shooting threes. Jaleel Okafor is a great example.
Jaleel was going to be my shout. So shout out to Kenneth, my guy. Yeah.
Oh, is that your guy? Okay, cool.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Jaleel's a good shout. That's who I would have said. DJ Burns. I've said DJ Burns before as well. And DJ Kenny. Yeah, Kenny Lofton. That's right. He's got a bag. Shout out Jeremy Lin. That's my guy Bryce. So
Jeremy Lin.
But I think your point, Kenny, is 100% valid, especially, forget even just his post bag. He got the ball on the perimeter. A guard tried to dig on him because he thought, it's a big. I can just rip Dane Danger. Dane said yeet, and he just crossed over and said, "I'm by you, and I'm gonna finish." I'm like, holy hell, what did I just watch? It was so fluid. Oh my god. Oh my days. He's so good. He is just such a good basketball player. I really obviously hope Memphis wins, but I also hope Memphis wins so the country can see more Dane Danger because they should. The country should see more Dane Danger.
Yeah,
because he's made us feel like this the whole season. I would love for the country to get a look at him the way we see him as well.
How much time left do we have in this halftime? Because
my guess is like a couple minutes. They're doing this. They're doing this media package now. Oh, it's Lady Gaga. They're doing this media package, so it's probably the last commercial break. Is my guess here.
Well, so here's how this is going to work. Like, I'm nervous about doing this because like I'm real. I don't get too loud. I'm going to try really hard. I'm going to try really hard to not cuss a whole lot.
Me too.
Francis is too. We're going to be here. You don't have to stay the whole time. We're going to be here during the second half, just watching the game. We'll kind of keep you updated on time, like where we're at. Cause I know everybody's, streaming service is a little bit different.
Sure. Of course.
But we're going to be here watching the game together. Immediately after the game, we'll start the Tigers Live post-game show. And it's going to be on this same stream. So just hang out with us. If you don't want to watch it, mute us, whatever. We're fine with that. I probably would get annoyed if I was watching somebody watch a game or watching a game alongside. Anyway, just do it however you want to, but we're going to be here, have some fun. We'll be watching the comments, all that. If we do get distracted by the if we're not paying attention to the comments very much, it's because we're watching the game. So
and being distracted
because that's what matters. But yeah, shout out to Colby Rogers, man. What we said this, that him and PJ Carter had to play well. And PJ has 3 fouls, didn't play great in that first half. A couple of them were that first foul that he had, the block at half court was the goofiest looking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, he's playing hard on defense though. Again, that's what I mean by he hasn't hit a 3, but he's playing hard on D. He kind of has to. He really has to.
We need him to hit some shots.
Solid. Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to, let me tell you this, another thing, what I think is Penny is known for everybody's talking about Nick Clifford before the game and how good of a talent he is, and he's big, right? Like, were you kind of surprised with how big he is? I was surprised by that a little bit.
I mean, I just because I've seen him before, I wasn't surprised. But he reminds me so much of Yaxel. He's just he's a big, fluid player who can pass and who can defend, who can shoot the 3. I think Nick's a better natural shooter than Yaxel is, and a better natural scorer than Yaxel is. But I think Memphis has done a really good job against him thus far. Nick only has 5 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. He's 0 for 3 from deep. His 1 field goal was, I'm pretty confident, was it a layup or I can't remember. I can't remember what his 1 field goal was.
I think it might have been was it an offensive rebound maybe? I think it might have been off a rebound.
Probably.
With a dunk or something.
Yeah, you're probably right. I can't remember what it was right now. But either way, Memphis has done a good job guarding Nick, and something I put in my game notes as the second half is about to get started. I was really curious who was going to guard Nick. Yeah. Is it going to be Baraka? Is it going to be Jourdain? And we saw pretty early on it was Nick Jourdain.
Nick Jourdain.
6'6", Nick Clifford. And I thought, and Memphis loves the matchup of Jourdain versus Yaxel. So I had a feeling we'd see the same thing where Memphis would be fine with the matchup of Jourdain and Nick. And I think the only moments where Nick gets kind of going is when Colorado State does a lot of motion to get someone. Oh, a steal. There we go.
I'm just now starting the second half. Oh yeah, Baraka got the steal.
Here, I will pause the stream very briefly so that we're a little even.
Clifford just passed it in on mine.
Okay, cool. Did he cross half court?
He's about to.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. All right,
I need Baraka to make those layups, by the way.
Yeah, for real. Oh, big man. Okay. But what I was saying is the only times Nick seemed to get anything going is when they'd run motion to get Memphis to switch, and someone else would be on Nick, and he would be able to get around him, get downhill. But otherwise, I think Memphis has done a really good job on him thus far.
Yeah, back to Dane in the post. Ooh, don't pass it. Oh, nice cut. Yep. Oh, I need PJ to make that. That's a good cut, though. See, that's the kind of stuff you're talking about, though, with a half-court offense, right? Like, it's those weak side cuts that help kind of loosen up. Because invariably, if you're playing a zone, you're going to watch the ball. Like, where's the ball going? And weak side help on zones tend to get stuck ball watching, and so those cuts are always going to be open.
No question, and especially if you can find a way to get Dane the ball when the other team is playing a zone, they're all just going to be looking at Dane. So backdoor cuts to the middle, they're going to be there all day long. That's a foul.
It's a weird foul.
It was.
By the way, Jalen Rose might be the worst color commentator I've ever heard in my entire life.
I think he's better than Reggie Miller, at least.
Oh, okay.
I think he's better than Reggie. And I like Jalen in the sense that he was he kind of sounded like an old basketball head every time Danger would score. You would hear him get like emotional. So I was like,
like you liked it.
I appreciate it.
I love Jalen Rose. I love Jalen Rose, but
Jalen's
Alabama actually pulled that game out, man. They were down with like 4 minutes left.
For real. Nice. All right, see if Colorado State's back in the zone. Nope, they're staying in man.
Okay.
Dang, I guess that ankle's
baby.
Okay, Jalen. I guess that ankle's okay, Jalen.
The ankle's fine.
Man, that ankle's chilling. Let's go, Colby.
Man,
I said earlier in the Discord that I need a Colby Rogers of Clemson, Ole Miss. I need that Colby, and he has delivered thus far. Shoot a big guy.
Let that man shoot.
Yeah. Damn, the lucky ass bounce. The lucky ass bounce.
The hell was that?
Freaking David Roddy looking ass over here.
Yeah, when did David Roddy get another year of eligibility?
BS3. And BS3, whatever. Good pass.
That's buckets. Oh.
How about good look? They missed the cutter.
Yep.
They missed him. All right.
17 minutes and 26 seconds left in the second half. Don't get loose, PJ.
All right.
We might need these first like 7-8 minutes of the second half to be PJ's part so that we can get Dane some rest. Because
for sure,
he definitely does look. I mean, playing 20 minutes and he looks exhausted.
There's a comment I've started earlier. Anthony Saint said we need to jump on them early. I'm so huge on starts to the second half being important to the rest of the outcome of the game.
100%.
And while Memphis, they got up by 7, Colorado State's now the one getting some momentum early on in the second half.
I'd let that Bimba guy shoot all. He's missed. I think he's 2 for 4 now.
Yep. All right, get a good look. They have gotten good looks. They just haven't fallen. Nice.
And
foul and one. All right. Good look though.
He made his He made his free throws the first 2 half. The first 2 free throws in the first half, right?
I think
was it an and-1? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, he's 3 for 4, so pretty good. Man, I say this all the time, man. Memphis in the half court is actually good. They just got to stop turning the ball over.
Having a post presence takes you to like it just changes your offensive game, right? Like Penny, we've always talked about. It's why Penny went after Jordan Brown last year because he knew he needed a guy who could play in the post, and unfortunately, Jordan Brown was not great at all, to put it mildly.
Yeah, that's very kind of you, Kenny. Not
Yeah.
great. It's pretty nice of you. All right. Something else
But I
to
mean,
look out for. Go ahead, Kenny.
no, he had spent years. Like he had Musa, he had Jalen. You know, he had. Oh, come on.
Oh, good move. Good move.
Yeah, it was a good move.
Yeah, got Colby frozen on the pump fake. That was a good move from the post.
It looked like a Dane Danger move in the post.
It did. It was nice.
But yeah, having a post presence just makes your half court offense just so much better. Oh, look at that. And one. He's gonna get fouled. They're gonna foul him the whole time.
They're gonna foul him every time.
Because those little up and under moves like that just don't take anything out of a post player. Like he's fine. Like that stuff isn't hard.
Yeah.
That's just flow. He's in a flow state right now in the post.
Yeah, easy. What I was trying to say before is something to look out for. Colorado State at half was only 5 for 14 from three. One of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. I think the best in the Mountain West. Only 5 for 14. So if Memphis can keep containing them from deep, that'll go a long way to win this one.
Man, making free throws, baby.
There we go. Woo, wee.
At 19 points already.
Career high was what, 25?
I think so. He'll have 30.
I mean,
He'll be a 30 piece.
He should.
Come on, man.
Nope,
good job, Baraka. See, that's what. Oh no! Don't throw that lob. Thank you.
Yeah. He wanted to.
He wanted to. I'm kind of glad he didn't.
He wanted to. He looked at it. Let's go, Dane. All right, baby. Dane fouled.
He's not even breathing hard. I'm sure he's tired, but he's not even breathing hard right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks like a unit, like a genuine unit. He's in awesome shape. He's much leaner than he was, no question. You see him back at Baylor, hell, even Illinois. This is the leanest he's been. That shout out to the strength and conditioning at Memphis, man. They've done an awesome job. Awesome job with Dane. He's looking awesome.
Yeah, Scott Forcier is it Scott? Let me see. Memphis basketball. What's his name? I think it's Scott. Todd Forcier. Todd Forcier has been a strength and conditioning guy in the pros in the NBA for a long time. And Penny has been trying to get Todd on his staff for quite a while. And this year was finally the first year. I'm hoping he stays. I mean, strength and conditioning coaches move on quick. They don't really stay around. Quickly. They don't stay around much. Obviously, I mean, you look at the Tigers, they've had 7 in the last 2 years. Right. But anyway, he's fantastic. And what's good about him is that he is a strength and conditioning trainer for basketball players, which is different, right? Like they had some guys coming in that were helping out, that were football guys coming in, and it's just different strength and conditioning. You just do different things. So he's definitely. I remember when Dane first came in, I think his goal weight was like 235. He wanted to get down to 235. I don't think he quite made it that far, but.
Well, that's one thing me and Dane have in common. I'm trying to get to 235 too. I'm at 248 right now, so I got a little bit of. I got some ways to go. I got some ways, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
248 of plain sexy is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, Kenny.
Full on.
I used to be. I don't know if I told you. I used to be 300 pounds. Yeah. So the skinniest I ever was 175. I lost 125 pounds at a point in time. Wow. Obviously, I gained weight back because I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I lost weight healthily.
You didn't do it the right way.
Correct. I think I did it in a very unhealthy way, and so I think now I'm just trying to be healthy. That's all I'm trying to do.
I feel you, brother.
That's literally it. Literally it.
Yeah,
I'm curious if Dane's going to play this whole game.
They're going to have to get him a rest at some point, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, maybe after this timeout, Dane sits. But I am worried about the minutes when he's on the floor. I mean, he's so important to this team right now.
Yeah,
he'll get a driving this
I would
team.
suspect probably by the next media timeout, they'll give him a quick, like a minute of game time blow before that, and then let him sit out the entirety of the media break, and then bring him back in. Daniel Greer, America's team, is playing right now. I can't. Why do Duke people feel like they just have to come in and ruin everything all the time? I don't understand it.
No comment. I'm gonna this. We ain't talking about no Duke right now. We're talking about these Tigers. Hopefully they can get this job done.
DG, host of the Grizz 901 post-game show. They have a show tonight after after the Clippers versus the Grizzlies. They're gonna do their show tonight. It's a great show. Come check it out. Hopefully it's after a Grizzlies win. They need one badly.
Yep.
Man, Colby is moving with so much more conviction in this game. Like at times he just gets caught floating.
Swing. Oh, PJ missed him.
I got the foul, but man.
Okay. Yeah. He was Colby flashing to the corner. He was wide open. That was the Dane paint touch. Double comes, Dane kick out, PJ swing, and there's an open corner three if PJ looked at Colby's direction.
Colby was open, but even on the drive, get the paint touch and throw it out to PJ in the corners. They had two corners wide open.
Yeah, they had two corners wide open. PJ is good for. I mean, PJ Carter is a great free throw shooter. So
I'm impressed with his ability with PJ's willingness to drive to the basket. He's what'd they say on the broadcast? 80% of his shots have been from the 3-point line this year. And so
that sounds about right.
He got fouled on 2 straight drives, which is lucky.
Did not like that. Did not like going under that. Did not like that. Tie game.
Come on, PJ. PJ Carter, look at PJ Haggerty. Not a bad play.
No, not a bad look. Just short idiot. Neek 3. Miss. Big miss.
Big miss.
It's a big miss for momentum.
Set a pick, Musa.
And Memphis only 3 for 11 from 3.
Musa, please.
Oh, I thought that was off us.
It was off Musa.
Yeah, they're
gonna change the call. I just need Musa to grab a ball, man. Grab a basketball. It's in your hands, bro. Catch the ball.
Yeah.
God, when did I get out on the court? Who is number 35 for Colorado State? What the heck? Oh, Jorgensen looking dude. Oh, big body, big legs looking dude.
Well, yeah, Danger's still out there. Yeah, he's still out there with Cisse.
That's a tough shot.
Tough shot.
He's pretty good at those. He's got those little step back fade away.
He does. I mean, he uses a 6'6" frame really well.
Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I think they need a timeout too.
No. Damn. Let's see if they call one.
All right, 52-48.
Yep.
13:20 left in the second half. Penny just called a timeout. They needed one bad. Can't make mistakes like that, PJ.
Yeah, if anyone but Jourdain is on Nick Clifford, that's food for Nick. I really think it's food. Jourdain's got to be in this game. I understand his offensive issues, but he's got to be in this game to guard Neek. He really does, because that dude can take over this game if someone else is on him. Quite frankly,
Yeah,
he can take over.
Nick's size and quickness have definitely given Neek problems. So
Yep.
I would definitely let's just hope that maybe there are certain games where it's just not your game, and I think this is one of those for Musa. Like, hey, come in and give Dane a blow, give Nick a blow real quick, and then just get out, because Dane and Nick are too important for what on both sides of the ball. What needs to happen out there? They gotta have Nick guarding Neek. There's no way.
Yep.
And if Musa's not going to catch the ball, if he's just going to let the ball just every time go through his hands, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yep. I mean, hell, even I've said this before, like Dink got a couple minutes to end the first half. I'd rather see Dink on Nick Clifford than Colby. And it's not even shade to Colby. He's just too little. Colby's not tall enough to bother Nick Clifford on those fadeaway shots that he hits on a pretty regular basis. So I'd rather see Dink on Nick than Colby every day of the week.
What do you think about this? PJ Haggerty,
I'm with you.
Not being passive. I agree.
I'm with him. I was literally about to bring this up. I said this in the my issue with him the first half is he just looked passive, and then again early on the second half it's the same thing. He's not being aggressive, getting to the rim. He's not really putting his head down and trying to get a foul call like we know he can do.
Yes.
It definitely feels like he's just being a little bit too passive. You know, we've seen PJ all year come around dribble handoffs, come around screens with the mentality of I'm going to get fouled. I'm going to go up. I'm going to get fouled. I'm getting to the free throw line. And you haven't really seen that from PJ so far. And I'm curious. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what it is mentally or physically, but hopefully that changes, because he's got to get this going if Memphis is going to pull this one out. No question.
Yep.
But it's okay. It's still early. 13-20 in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of time. Obviously, I trust they'll make adjustments. All good.
Was that 13 minutes left in the second half? So that was a timeout called. That wasn't an immediate timeout, right?
Yeah, Memphis called a timeout.
Why is Duke on my screen? What a comeback from a shout out to Cooper Flagg, man, coming back from a high ankle sprain. It's crazy.
Yep.
Because Don Juan, I think he's on point. Just hoop, bro.
Yep. With you.
All right, we're back
need
to
a
play.
Good response.
13 minutes, 17 seconds left.
Need a good
Nick's
response.
coming back in. Watch the lane, Dane.
Yeah, Nick is not in. It's still the two bigs of Cisse.
Yeah, Nick's coming back in. Oh, come on, PJ. PJ is being loose with the ball right now.
Yeah. They're showing him a lot of guys every time PJ drives, kind of like what Tulane does.
Is it a matchup zone?
Blues.
Yeah, no, they're in like a 2-3 zone, like a.
They might be.
Oh.
Yeah, the big sealed off. Yep. Just cleared out our big. Or is this Rogers? Damn.
Come on, man. They got to get some momentum back right now.
Yeah, whenever Memphis was down by 6 or something in the first half, you saw a big Colby Rogers 3 or a Dane Danger post touch leading to a bucket to kind of quell the momentum. That needs to happen here.
Yeah.
Big
Dan
man.
got the rebound. Let's go.
All right. Needed
Yeah,
that.
I agree, Daniel. They're settling. Good hands.
I think that's a good adjustment, though, from Colorado State to put Neek on Colby, a little bigger guy to affect Colby's shot. I'm curious if he'll be able to generate
Yeah,
any open looks for him.
We had some Colorado State fans in our YouTube comments this week, and Nate Clifford apparently was on all defensive team from Mountain West this year, so he's a good defender as well.
Yeah, he looks like it. I mean, they put him on Colby, and so every time Colby catches the ball, he's on him. He is on him.
Nick's got 4 fouls already.
Damn, that's why Nick hasn't been in the game. I didn't realize they had that many fouls.
I didn't know that either.
Jeez Louise, when did that happen? I had no idea.
That is not good.
Wow, I did not know that. Wow. That's our ball. I did not know Jordan had 4. Well, 3, and now he has 4, but oh, I'm nervous now. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, things are kind of trending in a direction that I'm not a big fan of right now.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. Like Daniel Greer said, settling on offense. They're shutting off the water of Colby Rogers. If PJ Carter isn't able to hit threes, we know Colorado State can sack off of Okoji because he doesn't want to score. It's tough, man. I will say it's got to start on defense too. Memphis, let me see how many turnovers Memphis has forced so far. They've only forced 5. 5 Colorado State turnovers. Memphis has 11 turnovers already. Memphis is not, or Colorado State's doing a good job taking care of the ball, while Memphis is also not turning the ball over.
Yeah.
So it's limiting their ability to get out and run. I don't know how many fast break points Colorado State has, or sorry, Memphis has. I don't see it in any of my box scores. Yeah, Memphis still dominating on the glass, still 29-19, 11 offensive boards compared to Colorado State's 6. But Memphis just is not turning them over at all.
Yeah, they got to get some pressure.
Yep. Yeah, they got to do something to change the momentum of this game. Speed them up, something, get him uncomfortable. And like I said before, Colorado State was only 5 for 14 from 3 at halftime. So far in the second half, they're 3 for 5.
Yeah.
So they're hitting the threes now so far.
Daniel's
Memphis
asking
has gone
Penny.
cold.
Daniel's asking, can Penny make an adjustment? I would say he makes better adjustments than a professional ball coach that's in Memphis. Shout out DG. It hit the rim.
Oh, it did hit the rim. Yep. It did. All right.
That's not a shot.
That was fascinating. Love Dane. That was ugh.
That felt like a settle.
It was just unnecessary. This is just unnecessary. And it's Colby again. Nick's gonna get in his bag. This is a big shot. Big miss. Get this board. Oh, unlucky. Oh, big miss. Come on, get a board.
Oh, dang. Let's go.
Thank God. Man, he had Colby again. Colby again, butt naked in the corner. He just missed him. He looked at Dink as a cutter. Oh, Dink minutes.
Yeah. That should have been a foul.
Man.
PJ Haggerty to the basket. 56-52 with 10 minutes, 40 seconds left.
Yeah, PJ's got to be huge. Dane's done his job.
He's just got to take over.
Yeah, he does. We need PJ Haggerty to take over mode that we've seen time and time again this year. We know he can do it. We know he's. Oh, damn it!
Good job, Dink. Good rebound.
Yes,
Go.
Dink. Yeah,
push.
Yeah, for real. Just push.
Yeah. Because they're not. I mean,
there we go. Yep.
Here's the thing. Even if you miss a layup, Dane's there, right?
Yep.
They have the offensive rebounding. They don't have rebounders.
They don't. Not at all. Yeah, PJ, you just gotta put your head down, brother. We've seen you do it all year long.
I might sit Dane for just a few minutes.
Oh. Man, Kenny, I don't know, dog. He's so important to this offense right now. If you sit him, you're now relying on pretty much one dude in PJ Haggerty to generate anything. But I also get it because he's played the whole game so far. It's tough. Damn, missed both. All right. Keep getting stops. Oh, goodness me. Oh, man. It's a scary time for Memphis. Man. Yeah, this is a scary time. Man, oh.
That kid could shoot, man.
Yeah.
What's interesting is the Tigers are 18-0 this year when they're leading at halftime. And it is trending in a different direction right now.
Yep.
All right, Colorado State up 61-52 with 9:20 left.
Here we go.
There you go.
Gotta go. Yep, easy. Come on, defense, guys. Try and generate some havoc.
Let's go.
Yep,
Dane
there it
with
is.
Turnover.
No, guys. Man. Come on, man. Man.
Oh, God.
Mm. The issues that have plagued this team in moments like this are rearing their ugly head.
Yep.
Too many damn turnovers, man. It's just what we've seen for a big part of the year.
13
Too many
turnovers.
turnovers.
Yeah.
Too many turnovers, man. And the 3-point defense, like I said, Colorado State was not hitting the threes in the first half. That has changed. That has changed. And they are taking advantage. Memphis is only 3 for 13 from 3. Man. You gotta give Colorado State credit though. They're playing really good defense on the perimeter.
Yeah.
They're not allowing anything open from our dudes. And I think they're okay with Dane just scoring in the paint. They're okay with it. It seems like it to me because they know they don't have an answer, but if they can start off our guys from the perimeter, then you know that's it right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got to get some more. We need Colby to take a shot. Yeah, Cap a lot saying Colby hadn't even taken a shot in the second half. I mean, really, they got a guard. They got to get offense or got to get rebounds, defensive rebounds, and they've got to stop turning the ball over. It's clearly not, David. It's clearly not over. There's 9 minutes left in the second half. Like this game's not over yet.
It's not over. It's not over.
It's trending in bad directions right now, but it's not over.
It's not over. Man.
We got a special guest coming in with us tonight, right now. It's Daniel Greer from the Grizz 901 Postgame. DG, what's up, baby?
What up? What up? What up? I've seen the game. I figured I'd come and hang out for a second. Maybe change the vibes. I don't know.
Yes.
Vibes. We need some
We need a
vibes
vibe change. I love a good vibe change, Daniel.
It's trending in a bad direction right now for the Tigers. What are you seeing so far?
Yeah, so when I'm looking at them, like it looks like they're lost on the offensive end, and because of that, like there's no defensive that's disrupting anything, so it can't create the easy baskets, which is their biggest thing, is creating the flow and changing that. So what Colorado State's done is slowed everything down at this point and making a half court offense, a half court game. And the other side of it is they're all sagging off of the 3-point line and saying, hey, if you want to shoot those, go ahead, because you're not a big shooting three team. And so they're trying to take away Dane, and if they can take away Dane, I think the game's done.
Yeah.
So all depends. We'll see, but I think there's a lot left. I don't think it's over yet.
No, we're talking 8 minutes left in the game. Yeah. I mean, that's plenty of time. They're down by 8. 7:57 left in the game. PJ just hit a runner in the
there you go.
In the paint. Then he just fouled. So
Cisse?
No, that was PJ Haggerty.
Oh. I'm sorry. I got it. They're down 6. Sorry, I'm a little ahead. I'll back it up a little bit.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we got 7:53 left. Let's go. On ours. I think
I'll slow down.
Yeah, what was that?
But if you look what's happening, they're finally getting into the paint a little bit more. And even though there are some threes that they're still settling for, their offensive rebound is what's keeping them in the game.
Yes. You talking about the Tigers?
Tigers. That's the only thing that's keeping them in the game is their offensive rebound right now, because they're taking so many ill-advised bad shots that it's going to take a little bit for them to get some flow. The offensive rebounds can help, and so I think that's where they're at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is why Memphis has lived in the paint this season. I mean, they dominated UAB in the paint in the conference tournament, and that's where they're going to dominate here. They have been dominating in the paint, but they can't hit a perimeter shot to save. They just can't. They're only now 3 for 14 after that Colby miss. And it's not even Colby's fault. Colby's 3 for 5 from the floor today. PJ's over 3. Jordan had those 3 missed threes in the first half. PJ Carter is 0 for 2. Barack is 0 for 1. It can't just be Colby hitting threes. PJ's been incredible this year. We all know that. But he only has 13 points on 6 for 18 shooting. So that's 33%. Not very efficient. We need more from the second team All-American. We need a little more from the boy.
Yeah, PJ Haggerty looks a little out of control, even when going to the front of the rim. He's not able to set, plant, and then lift up on his shots, and so everything's a little flat.
Yep.
Do you think that this Colorado State team is this good? Because they don't look good. It just seems like they're honestly. I feel like Penny's just being outcoached at the moment.
In what way do you think he's being outcoached?
I think I don't think there's been an adjustment made, and I know you were joking earlier, but he has not made an adjustment yet. Like they're finally coming up with Dane a little bit higher and getting to the free throw line and trying to make move up the defense from the bottom. Has been really the only adjustment made so far, but really it's just like, hey, create some top movement, and then at that point, that's it. Like there's been nothing else that's been made at all. And that's why I think they're kind of stagnant on the offensive end.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I think it's tough. Like when you're missing, and I don't think injuries are the reason why they're losing this game right now. But when you're missing 2 playmakers, due to injury, it does make it tough to because Baraka is number 6, Baraka Okoje. He's a chaos maker on the defensive end of the floor, but he's not an offensive threat by any stretch of the imagination.
Why did Dane give that up? Why did Dane give that ball up? Why did he give that ball up? I don't understand why he just gave that ball up. Then just put it back in Colby's hands, and Colby is not a self-creator, especially against an all-defensive player, Nick Clifford. I don't understand why he just gave that ball up. I don't understand what I just looked at. That made no sense to me. Like, what did you expect Colby to do there?
Yeah.
Man. God. Man, this is tough. This is making me sad. This is making me sad. No, I'm trying to be a happy, positive dude, and this is making me sad.
Well, the good thing you have It's a 6 to 8 point game. It's swinging back and forth both ways, and your best player hasn't played. Not even probably the top 3 best player on the court so far today. And so eventually, once he can finally get his groove back, maybe he gets a little bit of a spurt.
PJ, foul.
He'll be fine. But yeah, that's the positive side of this. Like the Tigers have played terrible in the second half, and they have a chance to really get back. And once you catch that even game and start lurking on that 2 points, at that point you can kind of overtake them and run for it because there's only so much time left. It's just can they get it to a 4 or a 2 point game? Can they get that energy going?
And a lot of it is just on the defensive end. Can they guard the 3-point line, and can they just get defensive rebounds? Just get every rebound. Don't let any offensive rebounds come down. Let me ask you this: with a guy like PJ Haggerty, Daniel, do you think that like there should be at some point in college basketball in particular, does the guy who just is the best player at getting the ball to the basket just put your head down and just go and do it and stop? I feel like that's what PJ's doing a lot of, is he's just he's trying to probe and search instead of just going and getting fouled. Because I think he's last year number 2 in the entire NCAA with fouls called and free throws attempted. He's just the kind of guy that just go to the basket. They'll foul you, right?
Well, that's what he is. The issue is if now, as you're starting to see some defensive changes, and I know I'm a little ahead, so I won't spoil anything too much, but you're getting you want him to get downhill on his drives. The problem is now they're at like a 3-2 type defense at this point. Like they're in a zone defense, which is very matchup based. And every time he catches the ball, they have one on him. And if he goes left and right, that guy moves off of his guy to help, which creates less fouling, right? Because then you can kind of create a little picket fence, the old school way of doing it.
Yeah.
I think is important, but also it cuts off on his drives and makes him have to take the long range shots, or it makes him have to pass the ball. And at that point, you are creating turnovers because the rest of the team hasn't been as good. So that's been the biggest issue for them, is once they went to that matchup based man-to-man / zone defense, that's really what's changed. And so I think that's where the big adjustment's been so far.
Yeah.
It's a defense that reminds me of Tulane's defense, except Colorado State just does it better.
They just have better players.
They have better players, but it's a similar defense that Tulane runs. And I'm sure these are high-level Division I teams, coaching staffs, coaches, everything. I'm sure they looked at who is the team that defended PJ Haggerty the best. It was Tulane. It was no question. And they definitely looked at that film, dissected it, studied it, told the team, hey, this is what we got to implement in some way, shape, or form. And they've done it really well. So, I mean,
Francis talked about it during the halftime part of this, that's saying they were manned. The Colorado State was manned the entire first half. And then with like a few possessions left in the first half, they started implementing a kind of a soft zone. And his response was, well, I wonder if they're going to do it in the second half. They have. They have.
They definitely do. Maybe that was a tester. Usually coaches don't do that because they want to come out of halftime with the big adjustment. But I think the biggest thing now is like you test it out. It worked a little bit. You fully enforce it. But now the Tigers went to a 1-3-1, a stretched out 1-3-1 on the defensive end. That's obviously going to expose your back ends. And so at that point, if you're a good passing team, which looked like Colorado State was there, that's where it got them on that last matchup.
That last layup, They just the help side defense wasn't there at all. They just got stretched out too far. Yeah,
we really haven't seen Memphis press that much. At least I haven't seen it. I haven't noticed them, ramp up a full court press, even like a diamond or anything like that. And I'm curious if we see that coming out of this timeout, because I know that Penny loves to come out of media timeouts with pressure. And if there's a time where Memphis needs to put pressure on Colorado State, it's now. It's right here, right now. So I'm curious if we see him ramp up some pressure. They need it. They need to generate some turnovers from him. I said before, Colorado State's done a good job of taking care of the basketball. Only 8 turnovers in the game. Memphis has 15. And that's, I'm sure, looking at a box score, I don't know what points off of turnovers is. I'm sure someone does, but
it's like 9-13. I think Memphis might be actually leading in the points off turnovers. Yeah, it's not as crazy as you would think. I might be wrong on that. It might have changed. I think I saw that stat just a few minutes ago. Daniel, what's in the water with Memphis teams and turnovers? Why do both Memphis teams like to turn the ball over so much?
I'm gonna get out of here after this last question, but I think because they are athletes, I think if you have to be, kind of brought into like a box, I think that's what makes you create a little bit of the looseness of the ball. You're trying to be the pure athlete. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys, they're not used to having that on pressure defense. That's more of the, I don't know, a little bit of the team defense. That's than just like an on ball man to man. So I think that's the biggest thing. But overall, it's been bad for Memphis on both sides, with the NBA or it's the Tigers. It's been bad, but hopefully
shout out to you,
they'll get it back.
Hopefully they'll get it back. DG, thank you, man. I know you got to roll, but thanks for coming on, bro.
Appreciate you, dog.
Hey, everybody, tune into the Grizz 901 postgame show tonight. It's a late one. They're playing the LA Clippers at 9:00.
I hear West Coast late
West
tip
Coast
for y'all.
So Francis, you're in San Diego, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Francis in San Diego. So this is going to be normal days for him.
Normal time for me.
Y'all check it out. Is Nate going to be on with you tonight?
Nate'll be there tonight.
All right, Nate and Daniel on the post-game show, the Girls 901 post-game show, the best post-game show in the city. So y'all check it out tonight on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. DG, you're the man, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
The good boys.
All right, man.
See.
All right, down by 7, 3 minutes and 39 seconds left. Got to get stops, man. Stops.
Just so much.
No, what's one stop, baby?
That's one. Now, please get a good look. If a 3 falls, I will scream. Probably, I will. I'll fist pump. I'll do something, or an N1. I'll take that too, Dane. Damn. See, I didn't curse there, Kenny. I didn't. I almost did. I was very close, but I didn't.
I'm impressed.
Oh goodness. Nice wide butt naked open. That's game. That's probably game.
That's probably game.
Yeah, that's probably game. Wow.
PJ has just had a rough game today, man.
Yep, just tough game. 3 for 15 from deep as a team. PJ's what now? 0 for 5 from 3. Yeah, 0 for 5. Get a defensive rebound. Nope.
That's 5 on P. That's 5 on
Nick. Yeah,
on Nick. Damn.
Lots of sad thoughts.
It's a great season for the Tigers. If it does end today, it's been a great season for the Tigers. There is no taking away from that. You're right.
Yep.
On one. It's been a good season, man, but obviously it's not the way Tigers wanted to end.
Nope, not at all. Man, I'll tell you what, more than obviously the Tigers wanting them to win the game, because I'm a Tigers fan. I've been a fan since I was able to breathe.
Right.
Besides that, I also just want them to win, because if they didn't win, which is looking like they won't, I don't want to hear the negativity, man. I really don't want to hear the negativity. I know we're gonna be in the comments during Tigers Live. I'm sure there's gonna be people talking shit, saying whatever, like, oh, this is a failure, Penny's a fraud, Memphis, blah blah blah. Like, we know what's gonna happen. Like, that's the reaction, and man, I can't handle that right now. And I'm sure we'll get into it during Tigers Live, obviously, but man, I just did not want to see the reaction if the Tigers lost, and we're looking like we're going to see the reaction, and it's not going to be pretty. No matter what happened this year, no matter the positives, it's not going to be pretty. I already know.
Colby with a 3, 2 minutes, down by 9, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah, I mean,
it's a 3.
We'll see. We'll see how. I mean, obviously, fans are going to fan, and
yeah, of course,
all good. But
of course,
part of being a fan is you have the right to to express how you feel about things, right? I think perspective is needed, right? And we'll talk about all this in the post game show. If the Tigers end up losing this game, obviously we'll have that discussion. But kind of put the season into perspective. And we'll probably do another Tigers live, probably next week or something, just kind of recapping the season, if you will.
Yeah.
Give us a chance to not do it emotionally, right?
Off the drag of a first round exit in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But everyone is tuned in, though, man. 483 y'all watching this. Shout out to everyone at 84.
Yeah,
shout out to every one of y'all tuning in.
Man, y'all shown a lot of love to Tigers Live this year.
Yeah,
so we're
y'all
greatly
are
appreciative
awesome.
of that.
Y'all are the best. Like, really, so much appreciation for it. There's a lot of other things y'all could be doing and hanging out with us, and we definitely appreciate you doing so. All right, can the Tigers pull off a miracle and maybe reverse the curse of 2008, Kenny? How about that? What if they came back from 9 down?
Let's do that.
220 the second. What if they did that? Reverse the curse.
I mean, basically, just know they got to get stops from here on out. Just stops after stops. Just get stops.
Get stops.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony, you're right. Losing those two guards is tough, man. Just get stops because they're going to try to spread the ball out.
Of course. And you got to get a board, stops, and a rebound. CC's got a crash.
Heaven's Healthy Kitchen. I don't think he had a choice, brother. I don't think that they would be in this game by any stretch of the imagination if
he wasn't. A block and a shot clock violation.
There you go. Musa on the ground again. I've never seen. He's got to be in pain after games as much as he falls on the ground, bro. He's always on the ground.
No question. I mean, he's a lot of body over there. You know, it's hard to control.
A lot of legs, man. A lot of legs.
A lot of arms, a lot of legs. Oh, goodness.
All right, let's go. Let's get one more bucket.
Just a good look. That's all I'm asking for. A good look. A good look. We're off screen for PJ. Tried to run Colby off of the line. Nope.
Missed by PJ on the 3. Yeah. Man, shout out to Dane Danger for being a warrior, man.
Why would you foul there? Oh, that's a mental thing, Colby. No reason to foul. That's mental. Man, oh, man.
All right, you got to stop. I mean, that's got to be a foul, right?
Yeah, it had to be.
Oh, turnover. Jesus.
Even my dog's unhappy.
Yeah.
My dog's upset.
It's quiet here in the Stubblefield house.
Yeah. It's funny. When I would watch games growing up, my mom would rarely watch with us because she would be too nervous. And so it would just be me and my dad watching Tigers games. And my mom would know if we're losing because me and my dad are dead silent, like no noise, just really sad. And then the game would be over. My mom will come out of her room saying, "Did they lose?" I'm like, "Yes, they lost." Like I could tell because you were making no noise.
Yeah.
That's such a shame, man. They had so much momentum going into the second half. They had all the momentum, and then Colorado State made some adjustments and just shut the door.
Yep.
Memphis couldn't score.
Poor Nick.
Yeah.
PJ Carter not hitting a single three really hurts. PJ Haggerty 0 for 7 from 3 really hurts.
I mean, this is what I said before, man. It's the big difference is this is the game. Colorado State's 11 for 30 from deep. Memphis is 5 of 22.
Yeah.
That's a six more made threes for Colorado State. That equates to 18 more points right there. And that's the difference. They hit threes in second half, and Memphis couldn't hit threes really all game besides Colby. He was out of bounds? I thought Neek stepped out of bounds.
They call a foul?
Yeah. I thought Neek stepped out of bounds, but they obviously didn't call that. Yeah. Man.
PJ hit a 3. Hey, too little, too late. All right. We're going to go straight into Tigers Live. Tigers lose 78-70 to Colorado State in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Tigers Live coming up right now.
Bluff City Media presents Tigers Live with Francis Carlota. Join Francis after every Memphis Tiger game as he breaks down each matchup, player of the game, and upcoming games. Now, let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tigers Live. I'm your host, Francis Carlota, host of Tigers Live for Bluff City Media. Coming at y'all after the Memphis Tigers lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament, 70-78 against the 12-seed Colorado State Rams. I'm Joe McKinney, Stubblefield. We'll be joined by Roman Cleary in just a moment as well. If y'all tuned in for our watch party during the show, thank y'all. Shout out to every one of y'all for being with us for that second half. And if you're still here for Tigers Live, shout out to y'all too for sticking around for this show. We'll talk about this game, break it all down. I see that Roman is in the stream, so let me go ahead and add him. Roman, how you doing?
How y'all doing, man? I'm sure there was a certain level of shock associated with what has just happened in Seattle. Memphis' season, as you all know, has just come to an end in the round of 64. It's Memphis' second consecutive first-round exit in the NCAA tournament. Now, this one does come with some caveats because Memphis did not have its starting point guard in this game, but, credit to Colorado State. They now move to 11 straight victories, and it's a real disappointing end for Memphis for sure, because you felt like this team had an opportunity to perhaps be better than this, but get a better result than this. Now, again, as I said multiple times before, this does not mean Memphis' season is a failure. In fact, I do think it's still a rousing success considering the way it bounced back from last season and everything like that. But still, you have to imagine the Tigers fans are marginally disappointed with what has just happened here.
Well, if you look in the comments section, it's more than marginally. There's extreme disappointment, Roman. People are, and I think we've talked about this in the past, man. Like, fans have the right to vent, and man, it's a tough way to lose. Like, nobody wants to lose that way. But I agree with your sentiment, Roman. I think that this season, I don't think we can allow what happened today to change the success, right? Like, change that this season was a success for a lot of reasons, but they were 29-6 on the year, ranked in the top 25 the majority of the year, 16-2 since December 28th. I mean, just a fantastic season all the way around for the Tigers and for Penny Hardaway. But clearly losing 78-70 in the first round of the NCAA tournament is not how anybody wanted it to end. So, but shout out to the Tigers for just a great season all the way around.
Yeah, and I know it may not be the ideal time to say this right now, but I think this game is completely different if you have Tyrese Hunter. I just do. I don't think he would have allowed the game to kind of fall apart the way it did for Memphis. That's the kind of personality, the kind of leadership that he brings. And yeah, he was on the bench. You can say all that, but there's only so much you can do when you're in a walking boot off the bench. And again, it's hard to say, but when you get 0 points from one of your starting guards, you're just not going to be expected to win an NCAA tournament game. That was the concern, a major concern of mine heading in, and unfortunately for Memphis, it has proven true.
Yeah, there's no question about that. No Tyrese Hunter, hell, no Dante Harris for that matter. It played a big factor in it, in this result. Anthony Sane said here, Tigers already didn't have depth, and injuries killed it. You're right, Sane. We already knew depth was an issue for the Memphis Tigers, and then the injury bug hitting at definitely the worst possible time the injury bug could hit, that didn't help at all either. I do think if you had Tyrese on the floor, it would have helped a lot with spacing, because when you have Okogie as your starter, you have Jourdain as a starter. Though Dane was able to eat, it's hard still to generate good looks for other guys when you can just sag off of Okogie, you can sag off of Jourdain. And at least if we had a healthy Tyrese Hunter, he would have definitely been more of a threat to score than Okogie, no question about it. And it's a shame. It really is a shame, but also your sentiment, Roman, is 100% correct that this result does not mean that this season has been an unequivocal failure. That's just not at all what this result means. We'll talk about it in a bit, I'm sure, but this was still a great year for the Tigers. But I want to ask you, Roman, because obviously you were doing your thing, covering the game for Bluff City Media. What changes did you see in the second half that allowed Colorado State to really take control of the game? After Memphis, seemingly they had all the control in the first half. What changes did you see from Colorado State?
I think Colorado State overall did a much better job of mitigating Dane Danger in the second half. You saw them throw a lot more pressure at him defensively, whether it be through, double teams or just pressuring him on ball a bit more. And beyond that, PJ Haggerty never really got going in this game. Yeah. Colorado State, as we've seen a few teams kind of do throughout the season, they really formed a pack line around the paint. Haggerty, you're not going to get the drives. If you're going to beat us, it's going to have to be from the perimeter, the outside game. Yeah. And we all know that's not exactly PJ Haggerty's strong suit. So when you're able to not allow much from Memphis' top two offensive weapons, and you have the benefit of the Tigers' starting point guard being sidelined with a walking boot, things become, pretty not to say easy, but a lot more convenient for Colorado State to kind of take control there. I mean, Nick Clifford didn't really play that well.
No.
I thought Kean Evans really took over in the second half, and not to be premature, but I think you have to mark him as the player of the game.
No, I think Neek did not have a good game. Memphis did a really good job on him today. 14 points, 3 for 13 from the floor, 0 for 6 from 3. PJ couldn't hit a 3. Neither could Neek. And Neek is also a very good three-point shooter in his own right. So I thought Memphis did what they had to do against Neek Clifford. But like as you said, Roman, Kean Evans was a beast. 23 points, 7 for 11 from the floor, 6 for 9 from deep. He was the reason why Colorado State won this game. But your points, though, about how Colorado State defended Memphis differently are incredibly valid. Like, you're right. They threw more pressure at Dane, different looks at him as well. And I talked about this during the show with Kenny, that I think Colorado State made a great choice by putting Nick Clifford on Colby Rogers, because that really limited Colby in the second half after Colby had a great first half. And you're putting a dude with size and length who can really bother Colby when Colby has the ball in his hands. Also deny Colby when he's running off of screens, trying to get him open. Nick did a great job denying him the ball. So I thought that was also a really big change that Colorado State made, limiting Colby, because he was really good in the first half. He was all you could ask for, but I thought that was another change.
Yeah, now to give Colby some slack, you did notice that there was a pretty noticeable limp on his part throughout the second half. I think he tweaked his ankle or something like that. I'm sure we'll get some clarification from Penny in a few minutes, but Colby was seemingly hobbled throughout the entire second half there. Yeah,
absolutely. And I credit to him for playing through it and staying out there knowing that they needed him. They needed him bad on the floor.
And I'll say this: we were headed home from the AAC tournament in Fort Worth. Roman and I talked about this game a lot, right? Like, we talked about kind of what to expect, and Roman sounded the alarm from the beginning. Obviously with Tyrese's injury, it's very difficult to win NCAA tournament games. Losing your starting point guard, and I'll be frank with you, I pushed back on him a little bit, because I felt that Baraka Okoje, the chaos that he created on defense outweighed the limitations he had on offense. And I felt like even in the UAB game in the conference tournament championship that he didn't really cause a whole lot of issues on the offensive end of the floor. I do feel like we saw a little bit of that today, more than we did in the UAB game. I feel like we saw some of those limitations really show itself. With Baraka, and I think he still created havoc on defense, but I don't think that it is tough, man. Like it losing Tyrese, I just have to give Roman credit. He kind of not called this, but he sounded the alarm on this very early, that this is something to watch for, right? Like that this is something to pay attention to, that losing Tyrese, all the while you're bringing in a big guard who can guard players, just wasn't it was going to be difficult to make up for that, for what losing Tyrese, what it did. So well, there's a difference between having limitations on offense and literally scoring 0 points. Right.
If you are a starting guard and you're scoring 0 points, you're not good enough to start in the NCAA tournament. I know that's harsh. I know that people aren't going to like to hear that, but that's just the truth. You're not good enough to start NCAA tournament games if you score 0 points in 22 minutes. Like that's just the reality there. And the defensive chaos can outweigh the bad offense against UAB. But against a Mountain West Conference champion in Colorado State that's extremely disciplined, they don't turn the ball over a ton. They're very well coached. They have really good guards. The defensive chaos can be controlled a lot more by teams with better personnel. And that's kind of what we saw out there.
I think the point about Colorado State's discipline period is very well taken, especially.
And I picked Memphis to win this game, by the way. I still picked Memphis to win this game because I thought the front court matchup with Danger and the bigs for CSU would be a bit too much. But credit to the Rams, they found a way to work around it.
Well, I think it was clear to me that they were okay with Dane doing Dane's thing because they knew that they'd be able to shut off the water from the perimeter, and that's exactly what they did today. Dane was awesome. I mean, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 8 for 13 from the floor, 3 steals, 3 blocks. I mean, Dane was amazing. But to only get 18 from PJ, and PJ shooting 7 for 23 from the floor, 1 for 8 from deep, and then to get no 3-pointers made by anybody besides Colby Rogers. Well, PJ hit that one at the end, but that one it was too little too late. It was pretty evident to me that Colorado State was okay with Memphis dominating the paint. They just knew they were going to shut off the water from the perimeter, and then Colorado State did a better job hitting their threes in the second half as well. I think they were had it in my notes 5 for 14 in the first half from 3, and they did a better job hitting threes in the second. So I'm with you. I'm with you, Roman, that no Tyrese Hunter played a huge factor. To get 0 points from Brocco Koji is not good. To get 2 points from Nick Jourdain and then to foul out is not good. And all the things that we said Memphis needs to have happen in order to make a deep run, they just didn't happen. They just didn't happen today. So it's definitely a disappointment, no question.
Yeah, and I just really hope that the outsiders, the non-Memphis people, the people that don't watch this team a lot, I really hope they don't use this as a detractor against Penny Hardaway's legacy or resume or whatever. I really hope that doesn't happen, because you go try winning an NCAA tournament game when you replace Tyrese Hunter, a guy who's won 6 NCAA tournament games in his career, was averaging nearly 14 points a game, was Memphis's vocal and emotional leader. You replace him with a guy who had to be replaced as the backup point guard midseason. You go try winning an NCAA tournament game in those circumstances. I bet it's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you, man. I hope the same thing too. I said this to Kenny near the end of the game when it was pretty clear Memphis was going to lose, that while obviously I'm a Memphis Tigers fan, I grew up one, I love the Tigers. I wanted them to win this game so badly because I didn't want to see the fallout that will likely occur if Memphis did lose this game, and all the BS and all the negativity that people are going to spew out at Penny Hardaway, at whoever. That's not correct. I don't think that's necessary at all. It's not fair at all. But it's going to happen, and we see it happening now. Whatever, it is what it is. But I'm with you, Roman. This game, this result is not an indictment on Penny Hardaway. It should not mean he's all of a sudden on the hot seat again or any BS like that. What Penny did this year is still the best coaching job of his tenure here at Memphis. I still fully believe that. Fully believe that. And this result doesn't change that at all. At all. Kenny, how you feeling? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's super easy to get frustrated right now with the Tigers losing in this first round. I mean, it's really easy to do that. And I know I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but I'm a big picture kind of guy. And the things that we've seen Penny change, Penny do this year, the players that he recruited, the decisions he made, coaching staff wise, the culture that he has. I mean, did y'all see the interview he did with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco last night?
Yeah.
Just the way that he spoke about the culture in his locker room, the non-negotiable that he has. These are things that are set up for a long-term success. And so as frustrated and as sad as I am that the Tigers lost today, I think this Tigers team is in a better position than it's been in a very long time. I mean, it's exactly what we have been wanting and asking for Penny Hardaway, right? Like, what a great story it is that the native son of Memphis comes back and coaches the university and leads them to success. And so, yes, losses are frustrating. Losses in the first round of the NCAA tournament are frustrating. But this team is set, this culture, this program is set for a success that I think is more long-term, long form than it is success right now. I want success right now, but this team is in a good place moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, you've now overcome the hurdle of not being able to win the conference title. You've overcome that hurdle. You've finally achieved a really, really good elite level regular season. Penny has really seemed to figure out the kind of program that he wants Memphis to be moving forward. Now, again, it is unfortunate that the Tigers blew their opportunity at a second weekend this year. It's unfortunate on their part. But the foundation, as Kenny has mentioned, it's laid out there now. The foundation is set. Penny's goals and mindsets and the ways that he wants to do things, all that's clear. He doesn't have to question any of that anymore. Yes. All that matters now is finding the right formula to get Memphis to the second weekend. That's really the only objective from this point on. And doing that, I think, is going to be a lot easier moving forward now that he doesn't have to figure out the other stuff anymore.
I love everything that both of y'all said. I cannot agree anymore at all. The only thing I'll add is also this is the NCAA tournament, ladies and gentlemen. Upsets happen all the time, all the time. And you look at how injuries impact higher seed teams. That affects teams all the time too when you come into March, and that's how you get upsets like a 5 losing to a 12. And a 12 it was a pretty solid team in Colorado State. I mean, we're obviously not the only 5 seed to lose. Clemson lost to McNeese State. Clemson was without one of their starting guards and Dylan Hunter as well. Tyrese, I think, is more important to Memphis than Dylan is to Clemson, but even then, you're still losing a starting guard, and that definitely played a factor in that game because Clemson couldn't do shit on the offensive side against McNeese at all. But it happens. You know, upsets happen. This is the NCAA tournament. It's March Madness for a reason. So again, along with everything that was said by Kenny and Roman, I just really hope that there isn't some monumental crash out and burnout after this loss. I'm sure it'll happen, but I really hope not. He's still been incredible.
No, last year was the time for the crash out.
Yeah,
last year was the time for the meltdown and the questions and all that. We're past that point now. It's over. Penny has answered every single one of those questions. They don't need to be asked anymore. The only question that needs to be asked now is, what is it going to take for Penny Hardaway to get this Memphis team to the second weekend of the tournament? That is the only question that remains unsolved from this point, because I don't think we're going to see another fallback from this point forward. I think that now, I think Penny has finally figured out his way of navigating through the conference schedule. He recognizes the kind of personalities that he wants to attract to this program. And I think, you know, I don't really see them like missing the tournament or anything like that next year. I just don't really see any kind of major collapse happening moving forward. So the only thing to, I guess, kind of see and figure out now in the future is, you know, how can Memphis advance beyond the round of 64, the first weekend? How can they advance beyond that point? That is still the question that lies ahead.
What do you think? Let me ask you this, Roman. And I know Roman's going to have to dip pretty soon because Penny and the team's about to be up at the press conference table. So when that happens, just let us know. But what PJ Haggerty did not have a great game tonight. I mean, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, but shot 7 of 23 from the field. Just didn't play a great game today. Wasn't his usual dominant self that he has been this entire year. Does this game ding his reputation for you at all in terms of like his status as a NCAA college player and potentially coming back to Memphis next year?
No, I don't know how. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a big game, but it's still just one game, right? It's a game where Colorado State, I think, just game planned for him perfectly. Now, let's not get it twisted here. PJ Haggerty and his return is still the most vital objective for Memphis this offseason. It should still be absolutely the number one priority for Penny.
And it is the number one priority, yes.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change based off of this result. Now, I do think this could maybe raise some eyebrows with the NBA scouts a little bit. You know, seeing Haggerty, I guess, underperform, if you will, in a postseason environment. But from Memphis' perspective, they should have no reservations on making every effort they can to bring him back. And when I mean every effort, I mean every effort.
Every effort possible.
Because you're not going to find a better player than him in the portal. I don't care. You will not find a better player than him in the portal. I can promise you that right now.
I'm sorry. I just don't. Did people forget that he's a consensus second team All-American?
Only the 7th Memphis player in history to do so. First one since CDR.
Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
This is the crash out. This is the crash out, Francis. This is the crash out.
I get it. This is the crash out. But please take a freaking breath and breathe for just a few seconds. Deep breaths. I'll do it with y'all. We'll breathe a little bit,
What is it? Goose.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all, good God, man. This is what I'm saying. Man. Y'all just breathe a little bit. Breathe a little bit. PJ Haggerty was just a second team All-American with an argument to be a first team All-American.
Third leading scorer in Division I college basketball.
Penny Hardaway's arrived. I must depart.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you, Roman, always. All right. No,
sorry, I don't mean to listen. Just the crash out is real, and it's okay.
It is.
Get it out here. This is a safe place for you to do it. But I think give me and Francis and even Roman, when Roman was here, a chance to maybe level set just a little bit here and say, hey, let's breathe for a second, because
let's breathe.
I will tell you this, man. If Tiger fans get their way, the Tiger fans that are saying all this right now about PJ Haggerty, if they get their way and he's somewhere else next year playing college basketball, I am going to be livid.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be pissed. You'll be pissed. And then those fans who want him gone will be pissed because he's going to be hooping for another team.
Because he's going to be killing.
Then you're going to be saying the same thing of wondering, well, why didn't Memphis try harder for PJ Haggerty? Why didn't they keep PJ Haggerty? Well, you were the same people trying to say that he should leave the team and you don't want him back. So don't flip-flop. Go stay on that side if that's how you really feel.
Yep.
That's the type of stuff that pisses me off so much. I just hate it. It pisses me off so much. This should have whiskey in the glass instead of water.
Yeah.
That's what this should be in my glass right now.
This has coffee. This has coffee in it. So I need to.
I was about to say, if you're drinking coffee, then you're like,
I'm getting up there. Yeah.
No, to Roman's point earlier about this is now about how will they make it to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. I'm fully with that sentiment. I just want to state that I think we have the answer of how Penny can get this team to the second weekend of the tournament. Mm-hmm. He knows the formula to roster build now, because this team was very capable of doing so. You need veteran dudes who are character first. You don't need the drama. You're not like you said, Penny now is non-negotiables that he's going to try and run this team with, and he's running this team with those non-negotiables.
100%. And
I think Penny's going to do the same thing he did for next season, where he builds a similar type roster. He knows you need to have a dominant big. You need to have an elite level guard. 2 elite level guards. He got PJ and Tyrese. Unfortunately, no Tyrese or hell, Dante Harris for that matter.
Right.
But I'm saying that I think we know the formula of how to get to the second weekend and make a run in March.
Yeah.
If injuries didn't happen with to Tyrese Hunter, to Dante Harris, if the Tyreek Smith thing didn't occur way back when and he wasn't an issue for the team and he had to be kicked off, then this team probably makes a second weekend, because the depth issues, the depth concerns that we had about this team, they wouldn't be concerns because they would be healthy and you would have a deeper roster than they did right now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next season, obviously, with the roster whole offseason. But I just wanted to make the point that I think we know what the formula is and how to get Memphis to the second weekend of the tournament. I think Penny knows it too. Do you agree with me, Kenny?
Yeah. I mean, listen, if y'all think this is anything but a motivator for Penny Hardaway to figure out what the issues are and to figure out, like, how to move this team forward, then I think you're mistaken. Penny Hardaway has been a winner everywhere he's gone, right? Wherever he's been, he's won. And so, yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying. There are a lot of folks that are asking about the roster next year, and we're going to do another Tigers Live and kind of talk more about kind of heading into the offseason and what to expect. I think Tiger fans are going to be surprised by potential roster continuity for next year. I think that there's going to be more people from this team back on the team next year than you would expect right now. So I don't think that we're going to have a situation where Penny's having to revamp his entire roster all over again. And obviously PJ Haggerty is the number one, I guess goal, or the number one, target on the list of re-recruiting him and making sure he stays and all that. But
right.
Anyway, I just think I think it's this is not a doomsday type of situation. I don't think we're going to see, like Roman talked about, the fall off that everybody is projecting right now.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I don't think that'll happen either. I think Penn will use this as a lesson to learn, something that'll make him a better coach. I think the staff will do the same thing, and whatever players come back, I think they'll use this as a motivator moving forward, because that's what needs to happen. I know what failure looks like. I failed a lot in my life. This is not failure for the Memphis Tigers, just straight up. I don't think this is failure in any way, shape, or form. And some people will think that it is, and that's okay. But I don't think this is a failure. And if anything, it's just something for the Tigers and for Penny to learn from and get better from. So, yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Yep. Well, listen, I'm ready to call it. We've been on here for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we have.
Anyway, shout out. Yeah, thanks, man. Thank everybody. We have 630 people in here watching this right now. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining us for the first watch party. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully next season we'll do them in person. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah, I'll fly out.
Yeah, we'll bring
Absolutely.
Or all of us are going to fly to Francis. That's what we're going to do.
There we go. Yeah, all y'all come to San Diego. Yeah, even better.
But no, man, shout out to all the Tiger fans for rocking with us this year. Francis, you were the man, dude. You killed it this year with the show. Really appreciate all your coverage and all your time and energy spent. And again, man, as disappointing as this loss is, it was a damn good year for the Tigers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Damn good year. We'll talk about it. Kind of take a step back after the emotions that we're all feeling, and we'll talk about the season as a whole and try and look ahead a little bit as well later on. But look, again, as Kenny said, all of y'all who have watched Tigers Live, even the people in the comments who were talking shit about me, even y'all too, y'all too. I see it. Don't worry. Even y'all who are talking whatever, I appreciate you, because y'all are here, y'all are engaging, y'all are saying what's up, you're sharing your opinion. And I appreciate all of y'all for tuning into the show. I really do. We want to be here without fan support, without y'all tuning in, supporting the show, supporting Bluff City Media at all. And so we're very appreciative of all of you who tuned in. Stick with us. If you stuck with us the whole second half up until now, hell yeah.
It got pretty quiet.
Yeah.
It got pretty quiet during that second half.
Look,
DG had to come in. DG had to
I was
come
about
in.
To say, I was about to say, DG, that's why he's the man. He had the sixth sense of when he needs to come in and say what's up. I appreciate him so much for that. That's why DG's the guy.
DG's the man.
But no, again, all of y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Tigers Live all throughout the year. Hopefully we'll do one more episode to kind of recap everything and then look ahead, talk about next season just a little bit. And then that'll likely be the last show for Tigers Live talking about this Memphis Tigers year. But y'all, seriously, thank y'all so much again for tuning in to the show. For Kenny Stubblefield, y'all go follow him at Kenny_BCM. You can find Roman Cleary at ROA Clear on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Slugga Sports, SLUGGA Sports. Follow Bluff City Media. If you're on Twitter, go to YouTube, subscribe to Bluff City Media, hit the notification bell. Though the Memphis Tigers basketball season is over, Grizzlies still got a lot of basketball left to play this year. All the other awesome shows that this network puts out, content on a daily basis. So be sure to subscribe to Bluff City Media, turn on the notification bell. But dang, tough one. Tough loss for the Tigers, but it's all good. It's all good. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Tigers Live. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next time.